Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Thank you.
Getting closer, we're getting closer.
Yeah. Are you going anywhere for Pesach?
I'm going to be on the other side on the other side, on your side for the first days, and then we're staying home.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go to the valley for the first
Oh yeah,
Seder.
so everybody's in Golis. Your family's in the valley?
My oldest daughter, but the middle one is coming also with her kids. So it's going to be a big reunion.
Very nice, very nice. Harold?
What's that behind you, Mario? It looks like denim, some
You
fabric.
know, that's my pants. That's my jeans fabric. I took a picture of my jeans and I just put it there.
That's what it is. Okay.
So there's no controversy. If I'm in the moon, I'm in the
In the
There's no
moon,
moon
yeah,
anymore.
you're
Moon's
in
down.
Uranus, yeah. Uh,
What are you drinking? Coffee?
Coffee, yeah. Get a little pep.
I don't. I can drink a gallon of coffee. Nothing.
Nothing, yeah. Also, I can drink and go fall asleep.
You fall. It keeps you awake now.
No,
No.
no, it doesn't help. I'm immune already. It doesn't. 109? 109A1?
109.
Okay.
He's gonna have to rush because Thursday is the new,
Oh, the new one, yeah.
I don't think,
We're gonna
He's
be a
not gonna
little bit
make it.
behind.
we need
Unless we
9, 10,
double
11,
up.
12, 13, 14, 5,
Gotta double up.
but no, it
Yeah,
can't.
we'll do a little bit every day, like that we used to.
Yeah, but there's a couple of them he never did.
What, oh, really? He didn't finish some of them? You remember?
He finished them.
He knows it. It's us that
Right.
don't know it.
Right.
So where is he? Together with Walter playing golf?
I don't think there's night golf. Yeah, is there any night golf? Can you play golf at night some places?
Oh. How can you find the ball unless you have it with
I don't know. It'd be very
Luminous golf.
expensive to light up a whole golf course. It'd be very expensive. Yeah.
with LEDs? The ball.
LEDs, yeah.
Oh,
There we go. Okay, we're on.
Shalom Aleichem.
Meaning, good evening.
Good evening.
well, you were playing golf and
Say it again.
you were playing golf
Why do you say that?
because you're late.
You mean I moved it from 7 to 8?
Yeah, that's why I thought maybe you were finishing the 9 holes or something.
No. No. I had to pick something up in the valley for Pesach with Susan.
Oh, okay.
I wish I was playing golf. I was in the office. We're in the story of Nachum Ish Gamzu. We're on 109, Kuf Tes. Again, on the bottom of Kuf Ches on the base, Nachum Ish Gamzu of Rogel de Kol Havis Alkalei, that anything that happened to him, he would say Gamzu L'Tova. He would see the good in everything. Yom Echad Ba Yisrael Shdur Dor LaKesar. The Jewish people wanted to send a gift to the Caesar. Remember, Nachum Ish Gamzu was the Rebbe of Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva died 135 CE. So you're talking about, Hadrian, Tiberius. These were the Caesars, after Augustus Caesar, Nero, Vespasian, Titus. Titus, of course, destroyed the base of Midrash. Nachum Ish Gamzu is after that. So they said, minus Shadir. What should we send to the Caesar, to the emperor? The Shadir Bani Nachum Ish Gamzu. Well, whatever that is, they said we should send it with Nachum Ish Gamzu. The Melumat Benisimu. Miracles happened to Nachum Ish Gamzu. And, we need the emperor to accept the gift. Better to send it with Nachum Ish Gamzu. Kimatu Laudi Yura Boilam Mavis. He reached an inn, wanted to sleep there. On relay, the people who lived in the inn said, Ma ikibahadach. What do you have with you? Amrlu, because Vilna Karga LaKesar. Karga was the head tax, the poll tax, that the tax was paid. Maybe he thought that if he told them that, they would stay away from it. Kama Balayla, at night, these Ganovim, Sharinu Lisifte, they opened up his bag, Vishakli Kodavagabe. They removed what had been sent with Nachum Ish Gamzu, Umalinu Afra, and they filled it up with dirt. And Nachum Ish Gamzu didn't check, and he ended up in Rome. They opened up the bag and they found dirt. Omar, the Caesar said, the Jews are making fun of him. They were taking Nachum Ish Gamzu to kill him. Omar Gamzu Toiva. You know what? That's okay too. Aselio, the Idmilek Echad Minayu. He appeared as one of the people either traveling with Nachum Ish Gamzu, Armelu Dilmahai Afra Me'afra Davram Avinu. He suggested maybe this is the dirt of Avram Avinu. Remember, we learned yesterday, the Havishadi Afra Havicharbi, when Avram Avinu would throw the dirt, it would turn into swords, and Gili and the straw Havugiri were arrows. They checked, and it was the Afra of Avram Avinu. There was a city that the Romans couldn't conquer. They threw some of this dirt on that city, and they were able to conquer it. So they brought Nachum Ish Gamzu to the treasure store of the Caesar and said, take whatever you want from here. So he filled his chest with gold. So he went back and he stayed at the same inn that he stayed when they cheated him. And they now asked, what do you have now in your chest coming back? Right? Ma'am tislabei malka. So Nachum Ish Gamzu said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They asked him, what did you bring to the emperor? I brought him what I took from here. So they realized, and they saw that he had this now chest full of gold. So they saw that, well, whatever he brought was very valuable. They figured any dirt. So they brought dirt. They took dirt as well. But this earth didn't work like Avram Avinu's dirt. They ended up killing all these people. We said that the people who built the Tower of Bavel have no oilam haba. What sin did they do? Rav Shila said, we will build a tower, climb up to the heaven, v'nakeh oto b'kardumot, we will strike the heaven with axes so that water will flow. They laughed at that in Eretz Yisrael. They ended up, the Torah says they built the tower in a valley. But if they wanted water, they should have built it up on a mountain. So there were three groups. One said, we'll climb up to the top of the ladder, we'll live there. Like the people who live in the high rises in Manhattan. The other said, we will go up at the top of the tower, we'll worship Avodah Zarah. We'll be able to fight milchamas from high up. Those that wanted to live there, Hashem scattered them. They became, koifim is like monkeys, ruchos are spirits, shadim are demons, lilin are female demons. That's why Hashem mixed up all the languages, so they wouldn't be able to worship Avodah Zarah. Tan Rav Nosson Kulam L'Shem Avodah Zarah Nichtkavnu. All three groups wanted to worship Avodah Zarah. Ksivacha Naseh Lanu Shem, because they said they wanted to make a name for themselves. Ksivacha V'Shem Elohim Acharim Lo Saskiru. Use the word shame to mention other gods. Ma lahal Avodah Zarah, Avkad Avodah Zarah. Rav Yechon. Migdal, the tower, what happened to the tower? Shlish Nisraf. The top burned. The lower part, Shlish Nivla, was swallowed into the earth. And the middle, Shlish Kayim. Rav Avir Migdal Meshakeach. Whoever goes to visit this tower forgets. Rav Yosef Bavel Ubursif Simin Rala Torah. Bavel and this other place called Bursif cause people to forget their learning. My Bursif, Ravasi, Bor Shafi, like an empty pit because people forget their learning. Okay. Now we come to the Sodomites. Anshe Stom Ein Lahem Chelik Lo Lemabo. Anshe Stom Ein Lahem Chelik Lo Lemabo. Anshe Stom Ra'im V'Chatim L'Hashem Ma'od. Ra'im Ba'olam Hazev Chatoim Lo Lemabo. On Rav Yehuda. Ra'im B'Gufan. That means they were sexually immoral, like the word sodomy refers to. So they did sinning with their bodies. V'chatoim b'mamonam. They were also sinning with their money. They were ganovim. When Yosef was tempted by the wife of Potiphar, he said, how will I do such an evil thing? And he used the word v'chatasi. So chatasi refers to, ra, because roim begufan, he said hara gdolas. It refers to with evil with your body. V'chatoim b'mon chsiv haya v'chachet. And it will be considered as a sin if you don't give the poor person something. When it says Vanshe Stom Ra'im V'Chatim Lashem Ma'od, Lashem Zu Birkas Hashem. They cursed God. Ma'od Shemiskavnim V'Chotim. They did not commit Chatoim B'Shogeg. They knew that what they were doing, and they didn't do it b'taiva. They did it to make Hashem angry. B'masnisa Tana, in a brayso we learn Ro'im B'Mamonam, that not like we learned before in Rav Yehuda, Ro'im B'Gufan, but Ro'im is with their money. Chatoim B'Gufan. Ro'im B'Mamonam T'chsiv V'Ra'a Eincha B'Achicha Evyon, that if you look on your poor person, you don't give him money, you're a ra. So that speaks to committing sins with money. Because he also used Yosef when he was talking with Ashes Potiphar, also said, how could I commit this sin like lelokim? Lashem zubirkas Hashem, like we said, murder. Shenemar, we learned this in Malachim. The word ma'od refers to committing murder. They were haughty. This is because Hashem blessed them with a lot of riches. Maksiv bahem. Eretz mimena yetzei lechem. From the ground, when the ground comes bread. V'tachtea nepach kamo eish. Hashem turned it over like fire. Mekom sapir avanev afrozav lo. It was a place that had precious jewels, gold, sapphire. Nativ lo yodo ayid. Even the birds of prey didn't know the way. Velosh zavasnu ein aya. An aya is a falcon. And the falcon's eye didn't see it. Falcons have very good vision. Nativ lo yado ayid. Velosh zavasnu ein aya, right? There's a sefer by Rav Kook called Ein Aya. Lo yidrichu v'nei shachatz lo ad alav shachal. There's no lion, there's no beast. This, and when it refers to stone, Omar v'chima achar she'eretz b'mena yetze lechem. So the people who lived in Stom said that our land produces bread, v'afrei zav lo, and gold. Lama lanu avrei drachim. We have everything we need. Why do we don't want strangers to visit? Why are they coming? They want to take away money from us. We are going to cause so much trouble for travelers that no one's going to come here. Shneamar, Poratz Nachal Me'im Gar. He broke up a stream. Hanishkachim ini regel. So people who walk are going to forget. Dalum Anishno. They move to somewhere else. Darash Rav Maidich Siv Ad Ana Tohosu Al Ish Toratzchu Kulchem Kikir Notu Igadir Atchuya. You will all be killed like a wall that falls, or like a fence that is shaky. The average people in Stom found out who had money. They would have him walk by a dangerous wall, and then the behind somebody would push it, kill the guy, and take his money. They dig a tunnel like Habam Machteres, that's the word Chatar. They dig at night. Yoimam chitmu lama lo yodu or. They did not see the light even the day. What's this? Again, they found out who had money. They would make sure that he would be given some perfume when he went buying somewhere. And therefore, this guy who bought the perfume would put it in his treasure store. They would either hire dogs or they themselves would go smell it out like a stog. They would dig tunnels into where they smelled the perfume. That's where the money was. Oram yalinu mibli levush. Pasuk in Iyuv. Somebody lies at night without clothing. Venksus bakara. And even when it's cold, they don't have something to cover them. It also says chamor yisoymim yinagu. A donkey that belongs to an orphan, they drive it away. Yachbelu shralmana, or a widow who has a shore. This refers to the people of Sdom. Gvulos yasigu eder gozlu vayiru. They steal sheep and graze them. Vuluk force yuval valgadish yiskod. They bring so much so, person dies, and they watch over him. How do we darshan this? Darsh Rav Yosef b'tzipori. Ichtrin ahi leila plus mea machter b'tzipori. In Tzipori, they dug 300 tunnels. Also v'komet sarule. The people who lived there came and yelled at the guy who was doing Amrulay, Yavi Orchel Ganovi, you're going to teach the Ganovim how to steal. This was Rabbi Yossi who showed how the people of Sdom were digging tunnels. So Rabbi Yossi said, I wasn't having intent that Ganavim should come. He could not Rabbi Yossi, Shapi Marzvedi Pori Damo. When Rav Yossi died, the rain gutters overflowed with blood as a simon that he had died. Amri, the Islay Chad Torah, Mare Chad Yoim. If you own an ox, you have to herd all oxen of the city for one day. The less liri treyoim. If you don't own an ox, you will shepherd the oxen of the city for 2 days. Therefore, Ahu Yasma bar Armlasa, there was an orphan, the son of a widow, that they gave oxen to take out the field and watch. The mire, also shkilna v'katlinu. So the Yasam killed all the oxen. Armelahu, the orphan said to the people, the Islay Torah, Nishkul Chad Mashka. Since the animals are all dead, the only benefit is the hides. So because of that rule they had, the Yasam said, whoever owns one ox should take one hide. The Leslie Torah, those that have no ox, Nishkol Trey Mashki, should take 2 hides. Amr Lay, they said to him, my hide. Why? Now the way we distribute is like the beginning. Matchilas Dina, you guys made it the rule. The Islay Torah Mari Chad Yoima. He who had one ox would graze the city oxen for 1 day, and the Leslie Torah Miri Trey Yoimi. Those that had no ox would have to graze for 2 days. Avsoftina. So too now. He who has only one ox gets one hide. The Leslie Torlishkal tray. Again, it's completely, opposite of logic. And again, corruption. The Avar b'mavra nesav chadzuza. There's a ferry that crosses a river. In order to cross the river, it costs 1 zuz. The law of b'mavra nesav tray. Let's say one just crosses the river by walking through it. He pays 2. The Avalei Torah, Dora the Livni, if somebody was building, let's say, a brick wall, they had a row of bricks, Osi kol chad v'chad shakel chada. Each person of the city of Stone would take 1 brick. I'm only taking 1 brick. Eventually, all the bricks were taken. Right? Right? 1 brick nobody would care about. People who put out tumi or shamki, which are garlic or onions, to dry, again, everyone would just come and take 1 onion. Well, if you have 100 onions, and one person takes 1 onion, nobody's going to care about that. But the people of Stum knew everything, what they were doing. 100 people showed up, took, so Amrlay, Ana Chada de Shakli. And with that method, they would end up stealing stuff that didn't belong to them. Arba Dayoni Ayu Bistom. There were 4 Dayonim in Stom. Shakroi, Shakrurai, which of course means liar. Zaifi, a forger, Umatzli Dina, but these were their names. Somebody who overturns din. The machelele itza the chavre umaflele. Let's say a person hits the wife of somebody else and causes her to miscarry. Amrile, this woman who now lost the baby, they would say to the husband, Yavaniele the Niabrinielach. They would say, you have to give your wife to the man who beat her. The so that he will impregnate her because he owes you a child. It's a complete perversion. The somebody walks around and cuts off the ear of his friend's donkey. So the owner of the donkey would be told by the Dayanim, Amrulay, Hava Nile Adikadcha. They would say that your donkey, even though it has lost its ear, give it to the one who cut the ear off until the ear grows back. Well, the ear will never grow back. The Poriled, if one struck his friend and caused him to have damage, Amrile Havle Agra de Shakalach Dama. They would say to the one who got injured, you know what? You had bloodletting. So you have to pay him because you would have to pay for bloodletting, so pay him. The Over Mabra, whoever uses a ferry to cross a river, Yavi Abir Zuzi, he would pay 4 zuz. The Ovid B'mai, somebody who walks, Yavi Tamne Zuzi, he would pay 8 dinars. Zimna Chadasahu Koives, somebody who does laundry came there. Ikla Lahasam, Armer Lehav Arba Zuzi. They asked him to pay 4 zuz for the ferry. Armer Lahu, Anabamayavi, I walked through the water. Amrle imkain hav tamne, pay 8. Davar b'mayim. Lo yoiv, he didn't have. So padyu, they wounded him. Also kamela the dino. So they presented him to the judge. Amrle havle agra, those people who wounded you, pay him. Shakalach dama, because he caused you to bleed. The tamne is davar b'mayim. And because of the bloodletting, normally you have to pay money to have your bloodlet. Eliezer Eved Avram Mitrami Hossa. Eliezer, the Eved Avram, came there. Padu, they wounded him. Also, he came in front of these corrupt judges. You have to pay the guy who wounded you because he drew your blood. So, Shakal Glola Padu, he took a rock and he struck the Dayan. Omer Mayhai, why are you striking me? Omer Lei, Agra Dinafikli Minach. You told me I have to pay a fee. So now you owe me a fee because I caused your blood to flow. You pay my fee to the guy that I owe. Period. Right? This is a famous story that Rashi brings about the people of Sdom. When a guest would come, they would lie him down on a bed. Ki marich, if he was tall, geizesle, they would cut his feet off. Ki gutz, if he was short, machtinle, they would stretch him. Eliezer Eved Avram Ikla La'asam. Eliezer, the servant of Avram, went there. Kum Gnaya Purye. They wanted him to lie on that bed. Armor Lahon, Nidra Nadra took a vow. Min Yom Demisasima Lo Ganina Purye. Since the time of my mother's death, I don't sleep on a bed. So he saved himself from that ordeal, either having his feet cut off or whatever. He have misramile anyu, when poor people would come to Sdom, yahavale kol chad v'chad dinner. Everyone would give him a dinner, but they would write their name on it. Uksiv shmeale. V'rifsol avim amtil, but they would make. Now he had money. Now he could go to the. Jean, teaching Daf Yomi, can I call you back? So each person, when they gave the poor person a coin, they would write their name on the coin. Now, what is a poor person going to do with the money? He's going to buy food. He's a visitor to the town. But they made a deal, Rivsalo Avim Amtile. nobody would sell him any food. So he would die of hunger. They would all find their coin, which had their name on it, and they take their money back. The people who lived in Stone made the following rules among themselves. If you invite somebody to a wedding, l'shalach glima, we're going to take your coat off. So Havi Hai Hilula, there was a wedding. Ikla Eliezer Lahasam. Eliezer, Eved Avram, was invited to the wedding. V'lo yavule namo. They didn't give any bread to eat. Kiboy lemisid, he wanted to eat something. He sat behind everyone. Amrle, manazana lahacha. Who invited you here? Amrle, lahu, the Yosef, he said to the one sitting next to him, you invited me. So that guy said to himself, Omar Dilmer, Shamur Beid the Anazmin to Meshakle Monadai Gavra. So my friends are going to hear that I'm the one who invited him. They will take, right, my garment away, because that was the thing that they had stipulated. Shakal Glima Ahudi Yosef Gabay. Urahat Labarai. So he took his coat and ran outside. Meanwhile, Eliezer did it to each person. They all left, so he ate up all the food. There was a young girl. She would give food to poor people, and she hid the food in a like a jug. Igloy milsa, it was found out. Shafuyu duvsha, they covered her in honey. V'ukmal irgashur, they put her on the top of the wall of the city. Asa ziburi v'achle, and the wasps came and ate her. V'hainu dichsi v'yom Hashem zakaz dom v'raki rabba. The crying out was the crying out of this young girl, right? Amar of Yehuda, Amar of Aliske Riva. Ki rabba means it's a play on words. Riva, the girl. Now, Meragli meilam chelik lo mabo. The Meraglim also don't have a chelik lo mabo. Ne'amar v'yamusu anashim otziedi basaretz rabba magefa v'yamusu b'olam hazeh v'magefa lo mabo. Adas korach enam chelik lo mabo. Shene'amar v'tchas lemo haaretz v'olam hazeh v'yoyed mitoch hakol lo mabo. Divrei Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Yezer Omer Aleim Amar Kosuv Hashem Emisu Machaye Moirit Sha'ol Vaya. It's written on the Adas Korach that yes, he will put them down, but they will revive them and they'll come up. Torabon Adas Korach Elam Chalek Olam Haba. Shenemar V'Tchas Alem Haaretz. He covered them with the land B'Olam Hazeh. Vayovdu, they will be lost Mitoch Hakol Olam Haba. Divrei Rabbi Akiva. Yehuda ben Sir Omer Harei Hein Kaveda Mispakeshes. They are going to be found ultimately. They're going to be eventually returned. Now we darshan Vayikach Korach. It doesn't say Vayikach Korach es habeged. It just says Vayikach Korach. It doesn't say what he took. He did a bad deal. Whatever happened, he was kicked out of this world. Korach shenasa korcha b'Yisrael. Korcha is like an emptiness. Somebody who's bald is a kireach, so it's empty of hair. Ben Yitzar ben Shirtiach Alavis Kol Olam Etzarayim. Like the heat of the afternoon, he caused the world to be upset. Ben Kaz ben Shehika Shine Molidav, who knocked the teeth out of his parents because his parents are ashamed. We're going to say the Seder night to knock the teeth out of the Russia. Ben Levi ben Shanas Levia began. He escorted everybody in Gehenna. That's from the Lashon Levoya. Now it goes Vayikach Korach ben Yitzra ben Kahas ben Levi, and it doesn't say ben Yaakov. Why not? Lachshav David ben Yaakov, ben Sha'akav Atzmo Legehenim. He could have said he sort of twisted himself until Gehenim. Arma Shmuel bar Rivu, Yaakov Bikesh Rachim al Atzman. Dam al tavo nafshi elu meraglim. That again there, Yaakov's name is not mentioned. The kilem al techaz kvodi, when the gathering of Korach zadas Korach. Then we have Dosan Vaviram. Dosan sha'over al das el. He went against the religion of God. Aviram she'iber atzmo me'asos tshuva. He sort of prevented himself from doing tshuva. Then we have Va'on ben Pelet. On sheyashav baninus. He understood he committed an avera. He sat be'aninus and did tshuva. Pelet shenasu lo plos. For En ben Pelet, wonders were done. Ben Ruvain ben Shara ve'havin. He saw what he did and he understood, and then he did tshuva. Amarav On ben Peles ishto hitzilaso. On ben Peles' wife saved him. Amrle, my nafkalach b'nei. What are you going to gain by this machloikas? Imar Rabba an Talmida. If Moshe wins out, you're going to be a Talmud. Imar Rabba, if Korach wins out, anta Talmida. So what are you sticking your nose in this? Amr la my audit. So On asked his wife, what should I do? I was in the discussion with Korach what to do. And I took a shvua that I would stand with them. Amrlei, Yadara de Kul Knishta Kadishta Ninu. Klal Yisrael is a holy nation. Tichsiv ki chol ha'ida kulam kedoshim. And therefore they're careful about tznius. Amrlei tuv da'ana matzilnu l'cha. You'll see, I will save you. Ashkisei Charma, she made him get drunk, and then he was out of it. Varvise Vagnise Gavoy, he lied down in the tent. Usfel Bava, but she sat in the opening of the tent. Uscharti Lamazia, she took her sheitel off, as if she was taking a bath. Called Asi L'chaz, when they saw her, they stepped away. And that's why they never went in and got on. Meanwhile, they were swallowed. And On ben Peles was saved. Okay.
Tomorrow?
Say again? So tomorrow,
We have two. Yeah.
tomorrow we'll do 7 o'clock the daf. And we'll do the 8 o'clock the turba.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody?
Thank you.
Right.
Talk to you.